Mi gente, ¿qué pasa? Welcome, bienvenidos a another episode of Hoy en Día TV. I am your host, Yesse Rodriguez. I'm going to bring out my amazing co-hosts to the stage. Welcome, Cece the Actionist and Nadine. Yes. How y'all doing? Happy Thursday.
Hey. Hola, hola, hola. Happy Thursday.
Feliz
One more day. Yes, jueves, Thursday for Spanish. Yeah, you guys know I'm learning my days of the week. Martes or lunes, martes, miércoles, jueves, viernes, sábado y domingo.
See? Oh, you go, girl. I used to know all of that, but I forgot.
Nadine's like, whatever, I don't need that.
I used to know all of that. Listen, I got a 95 in my Spanish class in high school. That was many moons ago, but you know, my teacher was pretty good.
Duolingo paying off. Duolingo paying off. To all the people at Duolingo, God bless you. Your girl is on. I'm inviting people to do Duolingo with me. We are learning our Espanol, and learning how to roll the R's. You gotta roll the R's.
Like you said, but you know what? Yes, he's gonna have to give me a 101, Spanish lesson. Okay,
I got both of y'all for sure. Absolutely. Yo te ayudo. No te preocupes.
Yes, and she goes so fast. Like, can you do that? Repeto? How you say repeat? Repeat. Repeto.
Repeat is, you can say it a couple ways. So, ¿qué dijiste? Like, what did you say? O lo puedes repetir. Repetir. Repite is like the past tense. Like, ¿puedes repetir o repite, por favor? Yeah.
So yes, I just dropped the children's book and it's in 5 different languages. I hope my translation on Google and all these other things work. I mean, I should have sent it over to you so you could check it.
You should absolutely. You know, I got you, sis. I'm here to help y'all, and we're here to help each other. So go send it over. I'll be happy to review anything. No problem at all. And Cece, I agree with you about Duolingo because je parlais pas français. Je l'étudiais en français Duolingo. So,
and you imagine we lived in Japan and Italy, and I don't even know the language in Japanese. All I know is domo arigato.
I love it. Yes. I will say visiting Japan sounds like fun. I'm gonna have to put that on my bucket list one day.
Yes, it is.
Yeah, fun. That's where Nadine became a professional gambler. She was always dragging me over at lunchtime. Let's go over there.
Nadine's like, dang, you putting me out there, sis.
Look. She did, was it like the 5 cents or quarter machines or penny machines? It was one of those little slot machines that you play when we were over there in Yokosuka. And she would go, but she's really good at it, y'all. Like she's a winner. Okay, she wins. And I'm like, are you kidding me? But she'd be like over there. I was like, I'm not going to do this.
I don't even remember that, Cece. You have some good memories.
Remember, yes. At lunchtime, she wanted to go. Break times, all the times. Anytime was a time, Let's go over.
We're going to have to go with her to the casino, huh? Get us some money.
You have a great memory, honey.
I love it.
She wins, y'all. She wins. I'm like, oh my goodness. She'll just call me up. Even here in the US, she'd be like, oh, I just went to the gas station. I did a little thing and I won like $500. I'm like, what are you talking about? Like, I was just there last week. I just won like $1,000. Like, seriously?
Cece, that was off of a $5 scratch off. I can't afford to be going to no casino this day and age, child. But but literally, I won $500 off of a $5 scratch off in Publix. I bought in Publix.
Yep,
that's amazing. I'm gonna have to go to Publix often and give me some $5 scratch offs. Okay. Did you only buy one or did you buy like 4? Because I know there's like a trick to it. You look at the number, it says winners 1 in every 3.8 something. So
I just got one.
Oh, okay, so you just got lucky.
Because what if you buy 4 and the first one is a winner? Then the other 3 you're not gonna win anything. So why waste all that money?
And she was winning. So I'm like, that's a really good return on investment. $5, but you win 500. I'll take that.
Absolutely. Yes.
Like the math is really mathing.
It's adding up. Yes. So Nadine, you brought up that you recently wrote a children's book, and I know Cece also wrote a children's book. So let's spotlight both of you all. So talk to me, Nadine, about your children's book, and then we can pivot over to Cece to tell us about her book.
So actually, Cece inspired me because she's, a children's book writer. A matter of fact, she's the one who got me into writing books to begin with. I knew nothing about writing, and then as you know, lately I've been doing my book signings. But who really basically who inspired me to write my children's book, gave me the idea, was my friend Annalisa, and she's like, you know what? Since you go into the bases, why not write a children's book? And I'm like, she has a good point. So basically, the children's book, the name of it is Love Travels in Uniform, and it's a military guide to staying strong while missing mom and dad. So basically, for kids who have their parents being deployed and stuff like that. And I said, you know what? Let's see if I could do it in different languages. So I started off with like the English, Spanish, and then the German. And I was like, well, we're stationed in Japan, and we have a lot of Japanese family in the military, so I'll do Japanese as well, and in French. I mean, I should have put Italian, but that's too much. But yeah, it's been published right now, so in the next few days it should be live.
Oh, that's beautiful. Congratulations.
Yeah.
That is amazing. So what is the age bracket for the children's book?
I put between 4 and 8, but I mean the age really varies, because you could go all the way up to 16 if you want to, because you have kids that are still living at home while their parents are deployed. So it could be a guide for the young children.
Okay, and where can people find the book to purchase?
Oh, it's going to be on Amazon.
Okay. Awesome. So yeah. And is there a specific Amazon page that you can share with the listeners and viewers so that they can go easily find it?
Oh no, I mean, if they go to my name, type Nadean Barton, it will pop up. But I mean, it's not live yet. It's still being published because I just uploaded it last night. So hopefully in the next few days, because you know what? Today they sent it back like 4 times for me to because sometimes when you submit your stuff, it's not as easy as people think it is. You have to do the trimming on the inside, and they'll send back error pages if it's not in alignment. You have to go back and fix it. Like, writing a book is very tedious. It is not walk in the park.
Wow. Yeah, no, I get it. So it sounds like you all need to stay tuned. Nadean will definitely give us a green light. Hopefully by next week, you all should be able to grab that. So yes, catch Nadean's. What did you say? Love Travels in Uniform?
Yes.
Beautiful. And let's spotlight Cece with your book. Tell us about your book. Yes.
Yeah, I love that whole, Love Travels in Uniform. It was great when she was sharing the inspiration, from Annalisa and stuff. And I was like, damn, this is brilliant. This is really, really awesome. So mine is Mommy Says. I too am on Amazon, and I'm redoing it actually. So my book is in both English and in Spanish. And I didn't use the whole AI. I didn't have AI at the time, but we use a real person, okay, to translate this thing. So, it should translate over A-okay. But yeah, it's Mommy Says. And so it's going to be a series, right? And this book is literally just about mothers and children, right? Parents, and children, right? And just literally, there's a life lesson in every single book, right? And so it's one that the first one here is just about a little girl, like she's just being disobedient. She's not doing what her mommy's telling her to do, like clean her room and do all these things and so on and so forth, right? And so of course there's consequences to your actions. And so it kind of goes through that whole thing. So in the back of the book, there's questions, right? Because sometimes parents really don't know how to engage and bring up conversations to really reach their children. And so it gives you that dialogue to kind of talk back into, to make sure they understand. Of course, it can go from a young child, right? From the ages of 3 and upward. I'll probably say about 3 to 12. But it can be for any age, truly. I learned lessons in the book as well, because I too, being a mom and then having a mom, of course, right? Like, duh, right? I remember the times when I didn't do what mommy said, and it resulted in consequences. And of course, it took me a lot longer to get to some of those consequences because my mom is very patient, right? But once we got to them, okay, we got to them, all right? And so it's really just to kind of help families, figure life out. And so it'll be, various series kind of going through, just helping people, kiddos figure out, like, we're talking about money, right? We're going to be talking about stress. We're going to be talking about so many things that's real life, right? And these parents can help their children, kind of just move with the ebbs and flows of life. So, yeah, so you can find it on Amazon. Of course, it's called Mommy Says. It's in English and in Spanish. It's in paperback, actually, and we're actually going to be redoing it, just like the cover and just some of the characters in there, because it was my first book, just kind of starting out, my husband and I, so we did everything on our own. And Nadean was instrumental in helping us, like she said, with the whole editing and publishing of everything, because it is very tedious on when you're trying to get it on Amazon. But I truly, it'll be on Amazon for a limited time, I believe, with myself, but I'll be beginning to just sell it on my own platforms, right? Because Amazon, if you don't know, you're gonna know now, right? They take a lot of your coin, okay? So
yes, we do.
we want to keep our coin, yes, in our pockets, right? Absolutely. So just be becoming, self-published and things of that nature. So thank you for highlighting me, Yesse. I love Oyandia TV. We sisters working together. I'm loving it.
Yeah, and Yesse, I dropped it in the group so you could see it, the whole cover, so you could take a look at.
Awesome. Thank you so much. Yes, I'm looking forward to seeing that. So yeah, and of course, that's what we're here for. That's what Oyandia is, to one, help each other out. We're not only helping each other here, we're helping the viewers and listeners to keep them motivated, inspired, enlightened, educated, and of course entertained. Because I feel like we're entertaining. We ain't boring. We're funny.
But here's another thing I didn't mention too. I published another one too last night. But this one is personally for me. It's called I'm Easy to Love. You Just Don't Know Me.
Oh, okay. That sounds sassy. Tell me about that one. I'm curious. I'm sure the listeners and viewers are curious to know too.
Basically, everybody who knows my story know all the things that I've been through and all this, and this day and age. And if you're married, in a relationship is a great thing. If you're not, if you're in the dating market, I feel sorry for everybody that's in the pool right now because it's dry. So, getting people, always judging you, always, basically like judging a book by its cover. You know what I'm saying? They just look at you and think that, oh my God, she's too much. Oh my God, she's too bougie, without getting to know the person. And that happens. Yeah, it really happens, and when you go on dates and stuff, people just look at you and, well, you were high maintenance, but I'm not. Just because you carry yourself a certain way, that doesn't mean you're high maintenance. If I'm high maintenance, I maintain myself. So basically I think it was like 3:00 in the morning, because I always get my ideas like early in the morning. So I came up with this idea. I said, and I called Cece. I said, I'm going to name my book, Easy to Love. You Just Don't Know Me. And that's going to be my book. Yeah, she knows the story. She know how it is. She's been there for it all, right, Cece?
Yes, indeed. And it's been some rough waters navigating sometimes, but
she was like,
not the rough water.
Yeah, Nadean is resilient. Yeah, Nadine's very resilient, so I can give her that. And so, my hat off to you, sis, because you're still kicking butt and taking names. And so, yes, so I'm glad for the books, and even, to be the inspiration all came from God, given unto you. And so the fact that you're telling your stories and people can resonate with them, right? There's a lot of women out there and men. I'm easy to love, you know what I'm saying? But, come on, find out for yourself, okay?
Because my main thing is like, I know that a lot of people are going to judge me, and I know a lot of people are going to read my book and they're like, oh my God, I don't want to talk to her because, whatever their opinions are. But my thing is, as long as you don't care about what other people have to say, then you'll share your story. You show your vulnerability. At this point, I will give two hoots what anybody got to say about me. So I put it in a book. If you talk too crazy or too bad about me, I will put your butt in a book too.
That part. She told you that part. And Nadean, I'm glad you brought this up too, because it's one of those things. As I'm getting older, I'm realizing that it comes to a point in our lives where we know we're not perfect. So why are we quick to judge someone else, right? We have to accept them for who they are. And for somebody to say negative things about you or judge you in a certain way, that really speaks to their character and how mature they are because they're still thinking in that negative mindset.
But people
Come
don't
into
even
a
know
mature
that.
mindset, you really don't. There's like, okay, that's just who it is, and I just choose to keep them away because that's who they are. They chose. This is who they are, right? And I respect who they are. This is who God made them, right? That's the person God made them. But who are we to say, oh, they're stuck up, oh, they're this, they're that? Like, who are you to say
That part. They just don't know. They just don't know my heart.
so?
And when they
Yeah,
finally get to know me, oh my God, you're really nice. Oh my God, you know what I'm saying? So you can't really judge a book by its cover. And even some parts of the book, I'm like, I have his face, but I have my own identity. I'm speaking about my dad because my dad have this resting bee face, and when I'm not smiling, even when I was on the ship, people like, oh my God, she's so mean because I have his face. I mean, I sometimes I would just want to rip it off my face. But I mean, that's what it is. I inherited my dad's face, but at the same time, I'm not my dad. I'm my own person because my dad used to live a double life doing all the things he used to do. But I just live my own life, and I mean, you can't judge a book by its cover. Just because if I'm not smiling, that doesn't mean I'm mean or I'm mad. And what usually get me mad for real is when somebody's telling me that I'm mad or I'm angry when I'm not.
right, that part. So Nadine, based on your book, it's safe to say that you are on the market, right? You're single. So what is your ideal man or person or
Single,
whoever, right?
single, single, and not looking.
You're like, nah, I'm good on that. But let's say if somebody were to pursue you, what would be some of the qualities that they would have to present? Because people have to put their best foot forward, and then they have to go through me and through CC. We got to approve too. So
that wasn't a part of the topic for tonight.
I mean, hey, we got to keep it interesting because this is part of life.
You put me on the spot.
Okay. Okay, we don't have to talk about it. It's okay. If you don't feel comfortable, it's all good. I
mean, it's cool. I mean, somebody that loves God for one, somebody that's healed. Their inner child is healed, and they're ready to face forward and bring the same energy. Like, I don't need somebody that's going to be out there, that's not emotionally available, because I guess that's the new term right now. And basically, that's somebody that keep it 100. I mean, you could be a truck driver, a bus driver, whatever the case is. If you come with your full authenticity and I'm attracted to you, then it is what it is. But
that part. Now pause right there. Attracted to you, okay, y'all? So that little bougie part is a little bit tricky. Look at your face. It can't just be any brother, okay? It's gonna have to. You gotta have some aesthetics and whatnot, okay? So.
Why you have to pause me on that, sis? Like, why are we going there?
Because people are gonna see the show and everybody's gonna be DMing you and all this stuff, and you're gonna be like, no. So it has to be some appeal, okay? And she likes tall men, okay? You got to be at least 6 feet to ride that ride, okay? So
look at Nadine's face. I love it.
I love it. We're here for you, sis.
Absolutely.
But Yesse, let me tell you what her husband did to me, honey. Like, we have a group chat going, right? And I opened the link up. I'm like, what the heck is this?
What did he do?
Cece, you don't sit there and you don't laugh at me because it is not funny. He's telling me this. What's his name, sis? Okay. I can't even remember. This old man dancing, and he was like, go get him, girl. I was like, David, you better go find something else to do and leave me alone.
It's this guy on social media, and his name is Uncle Perm. Just Uncle Perm. He's going to pop up, right? Now, my husband sent it as a joke because he's always sending this guy to his mom's, like, DMs and stuff. But Uncle Perm is hilarious. And Uncle Perm's out there for all the ladies, for all the ladies, okay? So
Uncle Perm has breasts bigger than mine.
No, check him out. You gotta see him. You gotta see Uncle Perm. Uncle Perm is Uncle Perm. So I'm gonna say like Uncle Perm.
Nadine was like, nah, I'm good with Uncle Perm. But no, sis, I didn't mean to put you in a spotlight, like that. I'm curious because I know that you wrote this book, right? And there's an inspiration behind it. And so in honor of your book and how you feel, and I'm sure there's other women that feel the way you do, I wanted to bring that up. Like, what is it? What kind of guy are you looking for? And this is a question for the viewers and listeners too, who are single, who are ready to find that significant other. Because yeah, like you said, you have to be ready for it.
It's for men and women too, because you have men that they get the back end of the stick. And I also wrote about the dating life here in Atlanta and the stigma about it. I mean, not all ladies that live in Atlanta are gold diggers, or they're looking for a sugar daddy or whatever. We could hold our own, you know what I mean? But to each his own.
Absolutely. Yeah, no, definitely. But somebody that's, they need to be mentally ready, right? To be out there to say, hey, I'm ready to find my partner, and be transparent. If you are dating multiple people, give that person that respect and courtesy to say, hey, you're not the only one I'm seeing. Because I've heard that. Like, I have some other friends where they're like, oh, I thought I was the only one. And then when I found out I wasn't the only one, that made me feel bad.
Here's the thing. During one of my book signings last week, somebody approached me and he was like, oh, I don't see a ring on your finger. Like he's interested or whatever. I wasn't even paying him any mind. And then I was like, you're single? He said yes. And further on in the conversation, he was like, well, it's not like I was really interested in him anyway, because, I'm doing business. But anyway, he's like, oh, I'm getting a divorce. I wanted to say, you don't get that out of my face.
Right. Get over that baggage, sir. Move on. Like, bye.
Get gone. Get gone. Okay.
Adios.
So clearly, he doesn't know the definition between single and married. Like clearly.
But here's the thing. I was like, so does your wife know that you're going through a divorce?
That part. Well. Oh gosh. Well, you know what? Talking about all of this with regards to dating and just the whole spiel of just the whole world of life, right? Looking good matters, right? Because when you go and you got to make that first impression, you want to look good, right? Man and woman. And Nadean, it sounds like people look at you, they see how beautiful you are. Hey, I don't know about her. Let me go over there, because you take care of yourself, which is an amazing thing. And I salute every person that does that extra effort to take themselves to look good on the outside, but also look good on the inside, because that's important too. You can't just look good on the outside, and on the inside is like, nah. Or I say this now. The importance of taking care of yourself is very important. This is a temple, the body that God gave you, and it is your duty to work it out, to eat right, to take care of this beautiful temple, because you are you. And with that in mind, we have an amazing special guest patiently waiting for us, who specializes in helping people look good. And so, Cece, do us the honors to please introduce us to this amazing guest that we have coming on.
Happily. Let me get on my spectacles. Okay. Yes. No. But we have she is amazing. Lauren Schroeder, right? She's a highly respected and seasoned esthetician, permanent makeup artist, and the founder of Fab Medical Aesthetics here in Wake Forest, North Carolina. She has over 30 years of experience, right? And her career began back in Los Angeles, the city of angels, baby, okay? Where she built a reputation for her holistic approach to skincare and permanent makeup, working both with the celebrities and everyday clients. Lauren's journey into aesthetics began in her early 20s after her own experience with sun damage, which led her to seek natural long-term solutions for skin health, right? So Lauren's expertise spans advanced skincare, microblading, permanent makeup, and she is known for her meticulous attention to detail and her philosophy of enhancing natural beauty. She has worked alongside renowned plastic surgeons and continually seeks out the latest innovations in her fields. Lauren's professional path in California, including founding her first business, Healing Essentials, in Encino, which focused on holistic healing and organic, chemical-free products. She later opened Natural and Pure Face and Body in Thousand Oaks, continuing her dedication to natural beauty and wellness. On a personal level, Lauren is a devoted mother of 3 children. Her experience as a single mother in California, particularly after her young son's diagnosis with diabetes, deepened her commitment to holistic living and shaped her approach to both family and business. Since relocating to North Carolina in 2018, Lauren has established Fab Studio as a local leader in aesthetics, blending artistry with medical precision and providing a welcoming, personalized experience for every client. Without further ado, Lauren Schroeder.
Hello.
Welcome.
Thank you. Thanks for having me.
Bienvenida.
Yes.
Welcome to Hoy en Día TV. We are
Welcome.
excited to have you. Yes.
Well, I'm excited to be here.
Lauren, you have a very impressive
this is my-
resume. Oh,
Thank
Cece,
you.
go ahead. No, yeah. So you have a very impressive resume. So tell us, who does Lauren say that she is? Who would you say you are? We've read this amazing bio and you have an impressive resume, but who are you? Who would you say you are?
I am just a regular person. That's it. I don't have anything exciting going on in my life. I go to work, I stay focused, I come home, I rest. I don't really do much, really. I just love what I do. I love going to work. I love being with my clients and the patients, and every part of my business I love, because I see slowing down at some point at this stage in my life. So everything I'm working toward is working toward having a good end of life. I guess that's it. That's all I can say.
That is amazing. Yes. So moving from California to North Carolina in 2018, what inspired that move? Why from West Coast to East Coast?
Well, I'm originally from the East Coast. I'm from Maryland, and we left there when I was 12 and moved to Arizona. And when I was 20, I went to LA, and I went there because I got a job offer. And when I got there, I just thought it was the best place ever. The weather was awesome. There was every day, you never knew what was going to happen. There was just every day was exciting. Celebrities all over the place. I ended up in Malibu. And I just wanted to call home and say, oh my gosh, you're not going to believe this. You're not going to believe who I saw, or you're not going to believe it. Like, I just felt like nobody would ever believe the things I was seeing and experiencing. So I never thought I would leave California. I thought it was just the best place. And then something changed, and I don't really know why or how or what, but just over time and living there, it became a hard life. It was hard. It was expensive to live. It was, you spent a lot of time on the freeway. I felt like I spent a lot of time haggling with people. And then in the very end, it became a very political place. And I never knew in the beginning anything about it. It never really showed itself in the earlier years that I was there. And then when I came to the end of the time, it was unbearable. I couldn't even just go to work and do my job without people bringing in their politics into everything. And the way the culture is there, you just don't say anything. You can't say anything because it will destroy your business, literally.
That's interesting, and I appreciate you sharing that. So thank you for sharing that with us. Yeah, I hear a lot of interesting things when it comes to California. Like I hear good things, and then I hear the situations where it is challenging, especially because the cost of living, I've heard, it's like 3 or 4 times, even now today, 3 or 4 times that of the national average. And so I can only imagine at that point, before you relocated to North Carolina, how that was. That's wow. And so you specialize in beauty, which is a beautiful thing, because I love beauty. I love getting prettied up and hair and makeup and eyelashes and lip gloss. Like, I believe in that. I mean, I always advocate for that, to put your best foot forward, right? Especially when you're going to make a first impression. You don't want to look like you just woke up and just turned over and brushed your teeth real quick and then voila, your hair is probably like this, you know what I'm saying? So do that effort to invest in looking good, right? And you definitely are in that lane. So tell us a little bit more about your business, and then, some of the tips and tricks that you would share with us about how to continue to look good. What are some of the services that you would recommend?
Okay, well, I believe it comes from the inside out. you can do as much as you want on the outside with makeup and all of that, but you really, the skin is the foundation. And to have good skin, you need to be hydrated, good sleep, do all of those kind of things. But I'm a big believer in chemical free, not putting chemicals on our skin. And back when I started taking this approach, it was, I want to say, like the mid to late 90s, and it wasn't really mainstream like it is today. So that's when I had my business that was called Healing Essentials, and everything I was coming across, I wanted to share with everyone, from the nutrition to essential oils to chemical free, just even makeup being mineral makeup. And what I found was I was attracting a lot of people who had health issues, and they were coming and they were looking, they were searching, which I can understand, but I wasn't reaching the audience that I needed to reach to sustain the business. And now today it's great because now it's open, it's wide open. Everybody's looking for natural. And so one of the things that we've recently brought into the business is IV therapy. And so while you're getting a facial, you can be hooked up to an IV and receiving all your vitamins and nutrients and working from the inside out. And then, of course, we do medical treatments, and some of the things that we do is microneedling, which is a natural approach for your skin for anti-aging. As we get older, our skin starts to lose collagen, and the little needles that go into the skin, they put the skin into a state of emergency where it goes into repair mode and you create more collagen. So we do those sorts of treatments. We also do makeup. We carry the Jane Iredale makeup, which is a really nice, natural, all mineral makeup. So you get some sun protection with it in a natural way. I don't know if you've heard about it, but these sunscreens that people use, a lot of them, they're just so chemical laden. That's actually what can be causing the skin cancer, is the chemicals that we find in a lot of the products. So if you can go natural, I recommend it. And one thing that I do mostly is the permanent makeup, and I take a very natural approach. If somebody walks in and the first thing you see is their eyebrows, and their eyebrows are popping out at you, then that's not a good job, in my opinion. I know it's subjective, but I think that when you walk into a room, people should say, "Oh, wow, she looks really good," not, "Oh, look at what did she do to her eyebrows." It should just be the overall appearance.
Awesome. Yeah, I agree. I concur with that 100%. I wanted to ask you about the whole natural makeup. You mentioned mineral makeup. What are some like really good brands that are out there? And is mineral makeup still the best, type of makeup to use, when it comes to, chemical free and those types of things? What do you recommend?
I think so. And I thought all mineral makeup was the same. But I'm finding that it's not, because powders, when I was younger, even younger than I am now, I stayed away from the mineral powders because I felt like it always showed my wrinkles more. And then when we switched over to the Jane Iredale, I found out I stayed away from the powder because of the old way. And the makeup artist, I was asking her, why does your skin look so flawless? And she said, it's the powder. So she said, just try it. So I started using it, and I noticed it didn't make my wrinkles worse. It doesn't make them worse at all. And it's because of the way it's micronized, the way it's sifted is different. But the Jane Iredale, I'm a big believer in, because it is natural. It's one of the very few brands we can use after we do medical treatments, like the microneedling. You can use it because it's going to help your skin heal after the procedures.
So now with the Jane Iredale, right? Is that like for all skin tones, or because all makeup, so is it like for the dark pigmented, the melanated system,
Yep. They have colors that range all the way from super fair to super dark, and they have. We just came out today. I just got a new. They came out with a new foundation. It's got an SPF 30 in it, and it's a liquid foundation. Then we have another liquid foundation. Then we have a pressed powder, and then we have a loose powder, and all different ranges for color.
So Jane, I wanted to ask you, what's the correct spelling? You said Jane Iredale, so I could post it in the chat for our viewers.
It's Iredale.
Okay, just like Iredale. Okay, that's what I thought. Thank you.
Yeah. You're welcome.
Yeah, and That's amazing, because you remember back in the days, I don't know if you guys remember, you know, the loose powder. I think the first loose powder I found out about was, you remember when they have the bare mineral? I think I still have
Yes,
some
they still
downstairs.
have it.
So is it similar to that, or would you say the Jane Iredale is kind of more top notch because bare mineral has been out so long? And I know
Yeah.
that you don't have to speak on if you don't want to, because it's a different brand, but I
No,
know
it's
that is the
okay.
number one.
And yeah, I think the Jane Iredale is a step above because I've used both. And like I said, the setting, the way it would set, it makes the wrinkles look deeper. Those other ones are those that do that. As for me. And I prefer the Jane Iredale by far. And so do the clients. Once we get them going on it, they come back, they return for it. And, you know, and it's really great because when we do our procedures afterward, they can use that makeup because people don't want to go out all red and they have to go to the store, run around or do whatever they want to do. And this is one that we trust that they can use.
Right. So I know that, you know, you talk about good hydration and skin. So basically, if you're not hydrating, and it doesn't matter how many products you put on your face, it's going to show in your makeup on your face. Because I know, like, I'm going on set tomorrow, right, for a set. So I know that before I go to bed, I always hydrate my face with, like, I use probably like 5 or 6 different serums on my face. But I mean, it keeps in the next day, it keeps my makeup nice and hydrated. So I don't know if that's a good thing or not, but I mean, I think that works for me. And I've been using the pressed powder instead of the loose powder instead of the pressed powder.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, definitely. It all starts with the skin. You can't cover up bad. I mean, you can try to cover up bad skin, but it just doesn't work. You got to start with the skin.
Awesome. And I have one more question. So what's one beauty myth you'd love to bust out once and for all?
One beauty myth?
Beauty myth. Yeah, that's a good question.
I don't know. I guess one thing is exfoliation is very important. You want to stay exfoliated because sometimes when you see these little lines around your eyes, sometimes you just need a really good exfoliation. Those dead skin cells will just sit there on the surface until you get rid of them, until you slough them off. And one thing I tell people that are just starting with skincare, a good way to get some exfoliation when you cleanse your face and you cleanse at night and you take off all your makeup, use a clean washcloth every time. Get it hot under the water, wring it out, put it on your face and slough off the cleanser that way. That way you get some exfoliation with that. That helps with that dead skin buildup.
Awesome.
That is awesome. I appreciate exfoliating. Like every night, I'm similar to Nadine. I wipe off any makeup that I may have, and then I wash with like I tend to use my son's baby wash because it's like gentle on the skin. So I do that first, and then I use an exfoliator. And I'm similar to Nadine. I use a bunch of other stuff because I want to make sure that I'm getting all that dirt and whatever is on the skin. And that's why I think I'm good where I don't have any breakouts or anything because I'm really OCD about my skin. And then I with the hydration, the creams and anti-aging serums. And I've been doing this since I was 19 years old. And so far it's been working for me. So yay.
Yeah.
I've come across a lot of people who don't like the taste of water. Do you have any recommendations on because water is important. We know that our body is like what 70 or 80% water. What would be some of the recommendations that you would recommend to those who don't like water? Because I personally know several people that are like, I don't like to drink water. Wow. And I remind them you have to drink water, but they choose not to because they don't like the taste. Do you have any suggestions for them?
I just don't think about that much because I'm just such a water drinker. I can't imagine, but I drink every day. I do drink one of those zero waters that have the electrolytes in them. And but then we have IV hydration. I mean, not that you can do it you could do it every day. I guess you won't if you wanted to, but you can get hydration that way for sure. You don't have to go to the hospital to get hooked up to an IV, but you can always do that. We do them. I did a NAD the other day on Monday, and I totally feel the difference. And last week I did a high dose vitamin C because I've been getting a lot of blood work done. So I'm looking at the things that I'm deficient in, and I'm taking them intravenously now.
Wow,
so
that's impressive.
Is that a new thing they started recently, Lauren, with the IV in aesthetics, or that's been out for a while?
I think it's been out for a while. Maybe we're just introducing it into aesthetics. What happened for me was I hired a nurse who worked in an IV place in Florida, and that's all they did. And they do it a lot with the athletes. And when she came in, she's also an esthetician, and she just loves it. And so I got more educated on it through her. And now we're offering it, and the clients are loving it, because a lot of times people will go to the IV hydration place and just get the IV. But at our place, you can get a facial while you get your IV. So it's like even better, because you're lying back, you're relaxed, you're getting your face worked on, and you're getting your IV hydration.
And I was going to say, Lauren, that is genius. I think it's a great way to market, because you don't hear a lot of people in beauty doing that. The IV hydration, that's been around for a bit, but doing it while you're getting your beauty treatments, right? That's a plus. And people will easily, buy into that, because it's true. So now, you're getting all the nutrients, vitamins, minerals that you need in your body. You're feeling it, right? So on the inside, you're feeling good. You're feeling awake. You're feeling alive, all those things. And then you're coming out in your skin, right? It's looking amazing, right? So genius, genius, genius. Bravo, Zulu, as we say in the military. Job well done. That is very, very nice, that you've added that addition in to your business. Fantastic.
Thank you. Thank you.
Yeah, absolutely. I've never experienced IV hydration, CC or Nadean. I'm not sure if you all have ever experienced that. You have, CC? Oh,
yeah,
can
so
you tell us your experience? I'm curious what to experience, because I've never done it, so I want to know.
And we can bring one of my friends on the show too. She's a nurse. She's a retired Navy commander, and that's what I told her about. I was like, girl, you got to get this money out here, okay? Because it's a little pricey depending on what you get, right? It can cost you, upwards, in the 3 digits, even beyond if you choose. But it's really, really good. And so she literally started. She was working there in Miami, Ruby Williams, right? Shout out to her. And she too had an opportunity to be like she was a travel nurse, but she, people getting all this stuff in Miami all the time. And so you would go to these little resort healing clinics, so to speak, right? So you could heal up. And when you come out, you're looking fab. They're like, girl, where you been on vacation? You were getting all your stuff done, right? But now she travels and she's doing the entire IV hydration, and clients are loving it. This is so, really good to do, because you can do a mobile, like people have like in these travel vans. And so you can just pop up at your house. It's very, very convenient. You don't even have to leave your home. Like she travels and she goes to people's homes and she hydrates them, but you feel amazing, because once you tune in and get the vitamins that you need, because typically when you go to the doctor, right, they're not nowadays, like medicine has gotten really, really stricter on the things that they're prescribing and things of that nature. And typically they're not wanting to prescribe you with vitamins and all. No, they want to give you drugs, stuff that's going to hurt you, give you tons of side effects and all of that stuff. So if I can go in and go right intravenously, right, to get what my body needs, you're going to feel it. You will feel it. Right. You will feel it that very moment in which you're receiving everything, whatever it is that you're lacking. So once that's identified and it's going in to give your body what it needs, you're going to totally flourish and be really good and those types of things. So, yeah. So you got traveling IV nurses and all that kind of stuff, doing it right here now with your makeup thing. People probably going to steal your hack now, Lauren. You know what I'm saying? I'm not sure for the people who are doing it, because you're one of the first people that have actually heard of doing this while they're receiving their beauty treatments. Wow, but yeah, you should definitely try it. We should do an IV party, y'all.
You can, yeah. And a lot of places, I think it's because they're having either nurses or phlebotomists hook up the IV. And I have a unique situation because I have a nurse who is also an esthetician. Because I am, as an esthetician, I can do the facial, but I can't do the IV. Right. And as a nurse, you can do the IV, but you can't do the facial, because they're two businesses. Like myself as a esthetician, I cannot own a medical business. So it's that's another whole thing with the structuring on that side, but she's employed basically on both sides.
Wow, that's impressive. Now, I will say this, because in the future, I would be interested in IV hydration, but I'm a big chicken when it comes to needles. Like I have a phobia for needles, and I'm sure I'm not the only one out there. So what kind of needle do you use, and how is the experience? Especially like, how do you ease a person where they're like, I'm going to do this, but yeah, needles scary over there. Like,
Well, do you give,
what
have you,
words of encouragement or motivation do you provide to those people like me?
well, I don't know. Like if somebody doesn't want, we just reassure them it's not that bad. You've given blood, you've had blood draws before, right? Like, you know?
So every time I do have a blood draw, I always ask for a butterfly needle, the tiniest needle. That's the
Yeah.
needles that they use on babies and stuff. So yeah, I'm that type.
Yeah.
I'm that one.
So I
used
know,
to
like
draw
for myself, I can never look when it's being done. I just look the other way, and it's just like a pinch, and then I'm always afraid that if I bend my arm, something's going to happen. But even though it wouldn't, so I just lie and be still and just let it happen. And because the benefit afterward is so great, it's worth it.
That's a good point. That's a good
And you
point.
know, now
Uh-huh.
technology's come a long way. So, you know, you have the vein finders. Like, you know, it's not like when people just sticking you, just trying to, you know, get something out, you know, so you have vein finders. So you can just literally go on, find that vein. Hey, there it is. And now you can go ahead and insert that needle, right?
Vein
And make it
finders. I've never seen that.
I don't know about those. I just know that when you draw blood all the time, or you get the needles in there all the time, you get good at it. I mean, I think one time I've had somebody have to dig around like that, but typically, like when I go to get blood draw, they're so good at it. It just is like one quick little prick, and that's it. And yeah, it's just something that if you've had a child, which you have, you can do it.
You know what? But fun fact about me before I started recruiting, I used to, you know, be a phlebotomist in the Navy when we had just merged from dental tech to corpsman, and I used to draw people's blood. And
that is so cool, Nadine. Look at that. Okay.
But I mean, I've never missed a vein. I mean, I think I was really good at it.
Yeah.
Well,
if you've never missed, you definitely were.
Yeah, I definitely missed a couple of veins. You know, I didn't like doing it even in our training to do all of that, but you had to know how to do it because you were always, you know, putting people, you know, on IVs and things of that nature. But like I said, the vein thought, you know, hey, one of the, you know, marketing things, don't worry about it. We will always find your vein. So you just look for the little vein finder. You got it. You're good. And then, like you said, Lauren said she just sits back and she just let it does what it does.
Yes. But here's a weird thing, right? So every time I go to the hospital, no matter where I go, and they're going to take my blood, give me an IV. The left vein is like really tiny, but the right veins, it just pop out. It's just like they get excited when they see that. I'm like, why is it different on the left and the right? I'm not understanding.
It's the same for me. My right one is so much better than my left one.
Yeah.
That is so interesting. Well, for me, when I go to get lab works and things like that, I always give them the disclaimer, like, hey, I'm the one that's the chicken, so I need a tiny butterfly vein or needle, right, for my veins, because I have a phobia, and it's happened years ago where I was thinking too much about it and I started actually hyperventilating.
Wow.
Yeah, I know. And so now as I've gotten older, and now what I do is I pray about it and I kind of like meditate, and I'm like, okay, this is what's about to happen. Just it's gonna be fine, right? And then I give them the disclaimer to the nurse, like, hey, I need a butterfly needle. And now it's been going peachy, which is great. So hopefully that'll be the same when I come visit you, Lauren, because I'm sure Nadean will plan to come see you one day and get the IV therapy in the future. And hopefully you'll have a butterfly needle for me, right?
Yeah, we do. We have butterfly needles, but I'll tell you, there's another treatment. And once you start doing this stuff, because I get it, you're like in your head about it. And I'm the same way. I've never liked needles. I never like getting, now like once a week, I'm having them put a shot in me of something. And I just do it. And because it's just so good, you know, and you just can just do it, get through it. Somehow I have psyched myself out to be able to handle it. But there's another treatment we do. It's called PRP, and it's also PRF. And we use a little butterfly needle and get your blood out and put it into a tube and spin it in the centrifuge. And then it separates the white blood cells from the red. And we take those white blood cells, which is the PRP, and when we microneedle of the face, or they can even inject it into the skin, it's a little tiny needle if you wanted to have it injected, and it gives just a big boost to the treatment because it's from your own body. So it's, you know.
Wow.
Now, what does PRP stand for?
Platelet-rich plasma.
Okay. I was like, maybe it was something different in that, but it's a whole medical term. So I'm familiar with that. Very, very good. So you say, because I wanted to talk a little bit more about the microneedling for those who have not had it. What I want to talk about, are there any side effects, right, with the microneedling, right? And are there any skin types or people that cannot, receive the microneedling, right? And then with the PRP, is that always like, recommended that you have that done? Like, does it help with the anti-aging, or what does it really do for the skin?
It helps with the anti-aging. It's not, you don't have to have it. A lot of people get it without, because the benefits of the microneedling are, there's so many benefits in it by itself. But if you wanted to give it a boost, and people who want to, who are really on a mission to do this anti-aging and see big results, the PRP add-on is really nice. It's good for that. But the microneedling in itself, like I said, you're creating an injury to the skin. So the skin goes into healing mode, and you're creating more collagen. So even though you look really fantastic right after the treatment, you look even better down the road. So normally you do them in a series of 3 or 4. And then 6 months later, you have more collagen in your skin. You look better. You look better over time.
So what are the side effects to it? Are there any side effects?
No.
That is awesome.
It even helps. Like, I was starting to get rosacea, and it helped with that. It helps with so many things. It's your body healing itself.
Oh, wow.
That is awesome. Yeah, absolutely. What's the downtime for it, or the healing process? Because I know you said that you're damaging the skin because it's producing collagen, which is a good thing, right? It's going to help you look younger. What's the actual downtime for that? Is it 1 day, 1 week, a month?
Yeah, like a couple days. And it's not even downtime. You leave and you're a little bit red, because we put a hydration mask. We put a lot of hyaluronic on you afterward. And then your face is just red, kind of like you've been out in the sun for a day or two. Okay. And then like the first time you do it, you'll see more of a result, which could be like some flaky skin on day 3, and still some redness, maybe some little holes, not holes, but little red dots. And then after that, it's fine. It's really no downtime. You can, and especially if you did want to go out and you wanted to use some Jane Iredale makeup, you have that to wear, and then then you just look great. You really do have a glow even the next day.
So is the microneedling only for the face, or can you use on the neck and
anywhere? You can use it anywhere on your body. If you have scars, it's good for acne scars. If you have a scar from a C-section, it helps break down the scar. It's good for everything.
That's impressive. Yeah. So for moms out there that have that C-section scar, how many treatments would you recommend that they would need before they can see their old self again, right?
Yeah, it just depends. If you think about scar tissue, the skin is it's tough. And so when you're breaking it down, you're just softening up that scar. So it's not, you're helping it. You're not completely getting rid of it, but it really does help.
That's very impressive.
And
go ahead, Susie.
The science behind, skincare and all of these different things that we're now doing to enhance and beautify and, remove the aging and all that stuff. So what is some literature out there, you may or may not know, but just showing some of the statistics, right? I have a scientific mind. And so just seeing, like you said, the benefits of the microneedling and things of that nature. What are the studies saying? Say a person goes, say they do this for a year. I'm not sure how often or how much it's recommended, right? So what is the science saying behind the whole microneedling?
So there's it just depends on the person. An older person would do a series of them, maybe 3 or 4 together. Some doctors will say the closer you do them together, the better the result is going to be in the long term. Some take a more conservative approach and say do one month apart. Either way, you're going to see those results, and it's going to happen. I started it on my neck, and I definitely see, because every time I walked by the mirror, I was going like this. And since I started doing the microneedling, I'm not doing that all the time. It's not like I'm cured or younger or anything, but it definitely helped. And then like the science behind it with AI, like you can really pull up everything that's out there on it. And I've just started using AI. And so when I look something up or I want to know about something, like I was getting all my blood work done, I wanted to know, what does it mean if this cholesterol is high and this one is low? And I was able to get all that information of exactly what it means and everything. So definitely there's a lot out there. But yeah, so for a younger person, they might do a series of 3 treatments and then go on a once a year maintenance, where an older person might go on a every 6 months maintenance, like a one time every 6 months.
Wow. Yeah, that's awesome. Are any of your procedures covered by any insurance, or do you offer payment arrangements or anything like that for those interested?
Yeah, we do. Well, we do have membership. So when people, their credit card gets billed every month, and then they come in and they'll say, "Oh, I want to get this done today," and they might have $400 saved up, or $500, depending on what membership they signed up for, and that's always helpful. And then people are using their healthcare cards. I don't know, I forget what they're called, HSA cards. They can use those because it's like a credit card. So we do have people that use those. We don't take insurance ourselves, but yeah, those health cards are being used a lot.
Okay, good to know. Awesome.
Mm.
Yes, Nadine or Cece.
Some good stuff. So Lauren, so how did Fab Aesthetics come to life, and what does the name represent to you?
So Fab stands for Face Art Beauty. And when I came here, I started Face Art Beauty Fab by Lauren, and it was for my permanent makeup. And also I'm an esthetician, so it was for face art, but I really transitioned to permanent makeup in 2016. And that's because I just love it. I've been an esthetician for 30 years and I love doing facials and I love doing skincare, but something about permanent makeup, because throughout all of these years, eyebrows were always my specialty. I always had a lot of clients for eyebrow waxing, eyebrow tinting. And then when microblading came out, I thought, oh my God, this is just like going to help so many clients, because a lot of people are missing eyebrows. And started off with the microblading. And then after about a year or two of doing it, you see that it doesn't age so great on all skin. So older skin and oily skin are not good candidates for microblading. And now I pretty much don't do microblading on anybody. I've transitioned over to powder brows. It's so much better in every way. It's gentler on the skin. It's more natural looking. It heals more evenly. So over time, it tends to hold up longer. And when people come in and they have the microblading done, you can see when I'm working on them, you can see that those strokes don't look like strokes anymore. And if they continue to get the microblading done, it will end up looking like a tattoo in the long run, because the microblading just naturally, people go too deep. They go into the dermis of the skin when we should really be working in the epidermis, because the epidermis won't leave any scar tissue.
Interesting. Like, that's crazy. Wow. I mean,
what's powder brow?
I've never heard of it. It's with a machine. So it's like a tattoo machine, but we're working on the epidermis. We're not going as deep as a tattoo.
Okay.
Because after a while, it's supposed to fade.
Yeah, because then when you can come in for the touch-ups, some of my clients, they're coming in for their touch-ups and I haven't seen them in 2 or 3 years. And we're really just touching up the color. It's not like you wake up one day and your eyebrows are gone. You just, over time, they're fading and the color needs a touch-up. And the more you do it, the longer they're going to hold up, because we're building the color into the skin. As we get older too, our skin cells aren't turning over as quickly as they do when we're younger and when you're oily. So it's, like some of the older ladies, like they go years. So I always have to be getting new clients because they're not like you see them every month.
That's impressive, though. I'm just curious to understand the story, or know the story about what motivated you, because you mentioned that you've been an esthetician for years and doing eyebrows, but let's peel the onion back to the very beginning. Like, how did the story start? What motivated you to get beauty and, helping people look good? Like, how did it all start?
it just evolved over time, because at first I was a tomboy growing up, so I didn't really have an interest in any of this, but I had a mom who was very much into makeup and clothes and all of that stuff, and I was so far apart from that. I didn't even like to take a bath. And when I went to California, I was working, I dropped out of college, and I was living in Malibu as a nanny. And then that just, I don't even know how that happened, but my mother had told me, she said, get in school. She goes, get a license to do something. I don't care what it is, just get a license. So I went back to Arizona and I got a manicure license. And I said, I just wanted to get that license and get back to California. So I did, and I went back to the nanny job, but I had that license. And over time, the kids were in school and I had time during the day. So I went down to a little place in Malibu and got a job working with an esthetician. And I was a manicurist in her little skincare studio. And so I watched her and I just really liked what she was doing. She was her own boss. She had her clients. She did facials. I was just so intrigued. She taught me how to wax and do all of these things. And I just loved it. I loved being able to have your own business and have clients and make your money at the end of the day doing something that you like doing. And I started getting into skincare because I was getting my own facials and I had skin damage I was dealing with. So I went back to school, and while I was manicuring, I went to school and did for esthetician. And then from once I got that esthetician license, I went to work for a plastic surgeon. So I got to see that side, that end of the spectrum, which was the medical side. And I just really, it was okay, but I wasn't really into that. I was more into the natural because around the same time, I don't know the whole order of how it all happened, but this was years had gone by. I had a son who had become diabetic. And when he was diabetic, they were saying, we were taking the classes at the hospital, and they said, oh, he can have as much Crystal Light as he wants. It's sugar-free. I said, yeah, it might be sugar-free, but it's full of aspartame. I don't want to put that in my child. So I started going to nutritionists and just getting into the more holistic type of healing. I was really on a mission to heal him. I wanted him off of the insulin, and I wanted to get him through diet. I wanted to do it through diet and all the natural ways. And so as I was coming into contact with all of this holistic lifestyle, I wanted to share it. So I opened up my first place, and I called it Healing Essentials because it revolved a lot around essential oils. I had gotten very involved in aromatherapy and therapeutic grade, not just, stuff that smells nice. And that's just really how it all grew. And it went from there. And now that I'm older, and I want to get more into the treatments. The natural stuff is great, but I need to pull out the big guns. So that's how I'm back into the medical stuff, but it does still have a holistic approach.
Awesome.
Yeah, that is.
Wow. I'm sorry. So you said Crystal Light isn't good for you?
Well, it's aspartame.
In my water all the time.
Well, I don't know what they're putting in Crystal Light today, but back then it was just all aspartame, and that's what they put in diet sodas. And I mean, I'm drinking a soda right now, but I do the one with the stevia. They'll probably come out in a few years and say that's not good for you either. But aspartame, no.
Well, it's actually out on stevia, and they're saying now that it's not good for you. I do it. Regular sugar, just use regular sugar.
Yeah,
that kind of thing. So,
but where can you find a soda with regular sugar? It's high fructose corn syrup, and that's horrible.
You're right.
That's horrible. Yeah.
Well, I actually made ginger ale because in ginger ale, the Canada Dry, it's all a myth. Right. So David, he wasn't feeling good. And I actually took the time to make the ginger ale, and I made it with just real sugar. So, and you can get, the carbonated water and stuff. And it turned out really good. And you could definitely taste the ginger that was in it. And he was like, man, this is pretty amazing, because I didn't know how it was going to turn out. I was just on there researching recipes for doing, and it's super, super easy. I was like, wow, it was less than like 30 minutes to make it. But I mean, you could do that, you know, just, you know, the carbonated water just tastes awful by itself. So you definitely, I don't like it. Some people do, but I don't like it just, you know, like that. But yeah, that's an option. That's an option.
I use honey in all my teas. I CC, I drink my tea every morning. But I use honey. I don't use sugar. I can't remember the last time I put sugar in my tea. I'm always using honey.
Honey's good.
Yeah, honey is natural for sure. Is good for you. I remember a while ago, wasn't Pepsi presenting like sugar, actual natural sugar soda, if I remember correctly. I don't know if it's still out there. They could have been out that, but I mean, it's true. You're right. But for those, you know, people at home, we're natural. Like, shout out to my honey, because he's taught me how to be really. It's either water, or if it's juice, it can't contain no high fructose corn syrup. Mm-hmm. And so I've learned how to look at that, and then at the ingredients, look at the back, make sure it does not say no bioengineered food products, anything like that. Make sure it says natural sugars, natural this and that. 100% juice is key also. If it says like 20% juice or that, recommend that. So that's pretty much what we stick with here at the house, and especially for our son. Like, he has yet to taste any soda, any candy, because we're refusing to give him all of that. Like, no, that's not.
But yes, you know that, I don't know if you guys know, or CC, I don't know. I don't remember if you told me about it, CC, or I told you about it. But, you know, there's an app called Ask Bob, right? Where you take it to the supermarket and you basically scan it, and it will bring up the app and it will tell you if it's good or not.
Good to know. Okay. Yeah.
And Yuka is another app that'll tell you about different ingredients and things of that nature as well. Oh, they're asking for your website, Lauren, for your business. Yes. Audience. So we'll make sure that we get that information out as well.
Absolutely. Indeed. And this will actually be a perfect opportunity to actually segue into our last minute words. Because it looks like we're having such a juicy conversation that
I know. I have one more question for Lauren.
Okay, absolutely, go for it.
Yeah. So Lauren, what is your favorite go-to skincare that you cannot live without? Like, if you're traveling, you're going anywhere, you go, you know, just what is your favorite skincare? Like, I have to use it every single day. What is it?
Oh gosh, I don't know. I can't just narrow it down to one. Because I always have a good cleanser. I'm just not even a cleanser. And that's what I wanted to tell you too about the myth. So people think that if you have oily skin, like especially teenagers, that you shouldn't put oil on the skin, but it's good. Like, I have a good oil cleanser and it's great. You can get in, you can massage. Because if you think about it, when you have a blackhead in your, say you have pores and you want to get it out, what do you want to do? You don't want to dry the skin and then do extractions. You want to soften the skin. You want to lube the pores, and everything will come out a lot easier. And if you dry the skin, and the teenagers do this a lot, they think that because they have oil, they want to dry up all the oil. And what they're doing is drying up the skin, and now they're making more oil. And then it's getting trapped under that dry skin, and then they're getting those breakouts. So you always want to keep the skin soft and supple, keep it exfoliated. So back to your question, a good cleanser, a good moisturizer, and a good powder, and an eyebrow powder and a lip gloss. Those would be my go-to. I can't narrow it down to one.
Awesome.
That's awesome. Nadine, you motivated me to ask a follow-up question now. But this is completely like aside from what you said regarding men. Like, what services you offer for our male viewers out here?
They do everything the same that the women do. The facials, they do the IV therapies, they even get the toxins, the Botox, the PRP. We can do it for hair, microneedling for the scalp with a PRP for hair growth. They get all of it, except they don't come in for the makeup. I even do men powder brows. Men who are missing eyebrows, because we can do it and it looks very natural.
Wow. Somebody in the comment has a question.
Is infrared laser treatment good? I got my first treatment today. Oh.
Yeah, infrared is great. We don't have it in our laser. I'd have to do more research for that, but infrared is definitely good.
Okay, good to know. Good question. Yes, keep them coming.
We're going to
I
have
think
Lauren back because
Yeah.
skincare is so huge. And just in us talking, and I know I can just go down the street, knock on your door, be like, girl, tell you know. But for the viewers, right, we all want to know, right? Because it's so much information, y'all. Our skin is the largest organ in our entire body, right? It covers us from head to toe. And it just doesn't have one layer, it has several layers, right? So we have to make sure that we are doing right by our skin, because if we do right by our skin, then our skin's going to do right by us, right? But we just got to come back to ask about like these different treatments, all the stuff that's out there, because a lot of people too are going to, and let's just say it, subpar estheticians, subpar these salons, and they're not getting proper treatments. People are causing them more harm than good. And that's something that we really need to get into. We want to talk about the safety, right? When people are coming in and receiving these different types of treatments and things of that nature. So we would love to have you come back just for a part 2, right? To discuss more of this, because I mean, hey, the sky is not the limit. You know, we want above the horizon. Yes, he teaches us that. Okay. So we're going above. Okay. But we want to definitely have you back, Lauren, to learn more about our skin and how to take care of it, because not all skin is the same. And what you use on one skin type, you can't use on another skin type. And even the melanated skin.
Yes,
right?
even like laser hair removal. We just got a laser hair removal that we can work on brown skin. Not all of them you can. And so just that's another thing out there. But one thing I want to say about the skin and the largest organ and the chemicals that we put on our skin, even our body lotions, you got to pay attention. Read the ingredients. You know how you read the ingredients? Your husband has you reading for the drinks and all that. Do the same thing with all. You can't just look at the label, because the laws, you can put all natural and it can be 10% natural, because it's just, it's all in the ingredients. Read the ingredients. And our water has chemicals. I put a shower head filter in my shower, but I want to get a whole house filtration, just because our water, you know, everything. Got to pay attention to the chemicals.
Our water, the filtration, and we didn't do the whole house because it's very, I mean, it's like tens of thousands of dollars to do it. But we did get one little machine, you know, for our drinking. We're starting there, and that was a few G's, okay. But it makes a difference. Like, I can tell the difference in our bodies. Like, we're doing alkaline and all that kind of stuff as well, and it has made a huge difference. I'm gonna shut my face because I know we're there, y'all. I know the show. But there's so much, and the comments are coming in. They definitely want a part 2. They definitely want to know more about this. If you all are in the North Carolina, Wake Forest area, Lauren is right here, arms wide open, okay? You can come to her place of business. I've been there. It's phenomenal, okay? And she is just amazing. Look, we got Ben. Is Ben in there? Can you get Ben on camera, Lauren? Because everybody needs to know Ben, okay? Because Ben, right, he can sit right there. Ben is going to be right there for you, okay? To make sure that your whole treatment, your whole process is going to be really, really nice, really, really relaxed. He's like a little support doc. He's so amazing. But this has been an amazing show. As we're transitioning now for the last words, Yesse, I'm going to push it on back over to you, sis. There's Ben. There he is. There he is. There he is.
Such a cutie.
So you guys will get to meet Ben. You guys will get to meet him. He's amazing.
But yes, Lord, I echo Cece's words. This has been another amazing episode. You know, this is part of life. Life is, we have skincare. Like Cece said, our skin is our largest organ. We have to take care of it. We have to take care of our temple. And so this is great that you're offering these amazing services to the viewers and listeners, to people who are ready and willing to receive your services. I want to receive your services. So hopefully the next time Nadine comes into town, maybe the 3 of us will come and make a day trip out of it and come and see you, and we can like record our experience and put it on.
That would be great.
See, she's your neighbor. I was there the other day and you didn't even introduce me. Like, hello.
We have a Mimosa and Mama Day next Friday on the 9th for Mother's Day. So that's a special day if you guys make it out this way. That would be fun. We always have little events like that.
Yeah. Oh, one last thing. You were saying something about the water, right? I had to tell you guys this real quick. I bought some cases of water from Publix, and I don't know, maybe it could just be me. Maybe it's a manufacturing, but every single bottle I open, when I open it, it kind of pop like you open a soda. So I'm not sure if that's supposed to happen.
Maybe it got hot. The water bottles.
It wasn't hot at all.
That's
Yeah,
weird.
that's a
I've
little
been
suspect.
experiencing that more with the waters too, and I don't think
Yeah, you open it and it just
that's. I mean, sometimes
like you just hear the pop like you
you
open
have the air kind of trapped in there, but that used to not happen. So why is that happening? I can almost guarantee that there's some kind of chemicals in those waters, right? That you just got to kind of be aware of, because that it shouldn't be. Even with the air, it never, like, I know what you're talking about, like kind of like a little fizz, kind of, you don't see the fizz, but you hear it. And so it could be just kind of some of the air trapped in there, but I can almost guarantee it's probably some chemicals. Yeah. The
That's
food
what it
today is all
sounds
poisonous.
like.
Just not all of it, but just the
The
majority.
bottles. Yeah.
It's
And
so
the
funny
plastic
because
bottles,
I was googling how do you test water naturally at home for chemicals, but I mean I'm not a lab rat, so I don't know, because
no, but
I was concerned.
they do have water tests out there, which you can actually test the water as well. And not only that, the water that's in these plastic bottles isn't good for you anyway, because you got to think about when all this stuff is being shipped, and we don't really know the temperatures that these bottles are being kept in. And even the EPA, right? We have the little numbers on the bottom of these bottles and things. Every number has a meaning to it. So you have to make sure that you know the proper number that's on that bottle, because not all bottles are created equal. And really, you should be drinking out of glass bottles. And even with glass bottles, there's a whole science to the science. We can talk about it all day. But even the glass bottles where the glass is being manufactured and made, all glass is not created equal as well. Canada's glass, compared to some of the glass bottles that we get here in the US, are inferior. And so that too, because things can leach into your water, into your drinks. And when you begin to consume it, now that's into you. So there's there's a lot out there, right? But let us push on. We're gonna be here all night.
We're not safe. It doesn't matter what we do. We are not safe.
And that's a good point, Nadine. So I will say this: what's been working for me and my family is we have a refrigerator that we add a filter to it, right? And so it filters the water. But what we did was we added the extra layer of water. We bought the Brita water filter. So we take that already filtered water and refilter it again. So we fill up this jug, and you can still see the little black particles coming out of it, even through the filter. So we're double filtering it. And now when you taste the water, you can taste the difference. All that extra particles and minerals and what have you, it has been flushed out. So what I would recommend to viewers and listeners is, if you don't have already a refrigerator that does that water filtration, invest in one. It's very important. It's guaranteed. Like I vouch for it. Already filtered water, right? You buy the filter for it and then refilter it a second time, and you're going to notice the difference with the crispiness of that water taste. So,
or if you have a kettle, just boil the water, let it cool, and put it in the refrigerator in a jug and drink it.
There's a boil the filtered water or like the tap water?
Like, I mean, any water you could boil. But I mean, I buy bottled water all the time, but I do have a filter on my refrigerator. I'm like, why am I buying bottled water?
There's a filter. It's called it's like it's called the Big Berkey. And the company they changed the name now, but it's the best filter. And it's just a big, almost like I want to say like a barrel. And then you pour the water from the faucet into it, and the filters are so good. It can filter out fluoride, and you can put food coloring in. It'll filter that out. It's called I got it a long time ago. It's called the Big Berkey. And that way, if something ever happened and you had to go on the road or you went camping or anything like that, it'll filter swamp water. It's the best.
That's impressive.
Where do you get that? Big Berkey on Amazon.
Big Berkey. If you Google it, it'll come up. It'll tell you the name. The name changed. I forget why, but if you Google Big Berkey, it'll come up. They've got different sizes. That's just the size I got was the Big Berkey, but the name of the company was called Berkey.
Okay, got it.
It's really good. And you can't boil. Don't ever boil tap water. I mean, we use it to cook. But if you're trying to boil it to try to clean it, think about this, chemicals in the water. And some of those chemicals actually increase more when you boil it. It's a whole science. I really got to this water thing.
Oh, wow.
Yeah, it can be quite dangerous. Our tap water has decreased in the US over the years, and you dare not even drink tap water in Texas. So if you live in Texas, most people are filtering their water or getting other water sources. Spring water is always good, but depending on the spring in which it's actually coming from, right? There's a whole thing behind it, but last words.
But in the restaurants, I think they may give you tap water in the restaurants. I believe so.
I think so, probably. I know.
They do. That's why you have to be specific to say bottled water, please, or glass bottled water, please. Right?
Yeah.
Yes. But yes, we definitely have to bring you back, Lauren. These are some juicy conversations. And didn't I tell you? I told you before we got on, our conversation is going to be so juicy that the time's going to go back like this. And look
Like
at that.
that.
Voila.
Yeah.
We're an hour and 20 minutes in, and we could keep going and going because that's just how juicy it is. And that's another reason why I love Oyandia TV and my amazing co-host, because we have these deep, thought-provoking conversations that people don't hear of every day. This is part of life. Life has all the ups, the downs, the grays, the blacks, the blues, the purples, the greens, all the shades of color. This is what Oyandia TV is about, life. So any topic that you all want to talk about, write us in. Right into Oyandia TV. I'm going to put the email at the bottom and say, hey, can you all talk about this today or talk about that today? We're always welcome different topics as well, because we are here for the viewers and listeners. And we're going to pivot over to the last minute words. Who wants to lead, Nadine or Cece? Any takers?
Well, for me, like everybody that's been watching, know that my name is Nadean Barton, the author, Navy veteran, 24 years. I'm an entrepreneur, travel agent. I do it all, right? So, so you can find me on Amazon. Type in my name, Nadean Barton, and all my books will pop up. On Instagram is Nadia NADIAB _1202. And that's on Instagram. So, and on Facebook, it's just my name as it is on the screen. So I just want to encourage everybody today that, life is 10% of what happens to you and 90% of how you react. Because if you're supposed to react to every single person you come across driving, road rage, all these crazy things that's been going on in 2025 and, before, then, you could end up being unalive or whatever the case is. So just make sure you take that 2 seconds to think before you react. So that's my quote for today. Life is 10% of what happened to you and 90% of how you react. And I hope you guys have an amazing day.
Excellent. I love it. I love it. I love it. So you guys, hey, I'm Sierra, the Actions with Inspire for Purpose. And you can just Google me, right? I'll pop up. You'll see Inspire for Purpose there. I don't want to talk about any of the other stuff, but I do want to say this, right? I want to say, remember, nothing positive ever came from negative thinking, right? And so I want you all to be positive about your skincare, all right? You learned a lot today. Take care of the largest organ of your body, all right? So do good by it and it'll do good by you. Hydrate, hydrate, and hydrate. As I always like to say before departing from you all, love and light and inspire for purpose.
Lauren, your turn.
I just want to say it's never too late to start. Sometimes people come in and they feel like, oh, I've never done anything. It doesn't matter what age you are. It's never too late. You will definitely see improvement at any age whenever you start taking care of yourself. And we're here to guide you and help you along the way. We customize your plan. We listen to your goals. We work with you one-on-one, and we will help you achieve these goals that you have for yourself. It's never too late.
And where can we find you, Lauren?
We are in Wake Forest. We have a website. It's called Fab Aesthetics, and it's with an A. I don't know. It's probably a hard word sometimes I have trouble with it, but it's AESTHETICS.com, Fab-Aesthetics. And we are in Wake Forest, and we also have Instagram, and it's Fab Aesthetics NC. That's our handle, like on all of our social.
Awesome. I'm going to find it real quick and post it here for everyone. I just posted it to the group chat for the viewers and listeners. And so Lauren, is that the right one right there? Fab-aesthetics.com?
Yes, it is.
Beautiful.
Aesthetics, yeah. And we're also this weekend on Saturday, we're going to be at downtown Wake Forest. They have a meet in the street event. There's going to be 200 vendors there, and it's from like 10 to 4 on Saturday, and we'll be there. We have a booth, and so anybody that comes out, we can meet.
Yes, absolutely. That sounds amazing. Hey, Mother Day is coming up, so get those gift cards, gift certificates for your mother, and visit fabaesthetics.com. I'm sure Mom will appreciate it because, every woman wants to look good, right? Everyone wants that skin treatment. I mean, who doesn't? I mean, hey, who am I, right? But I want to say thank you to the viewers and listeners. Thank you to Lauren as our special guest. We learned so much information, amazing wealth of knowledge. Shout out to my co-hosts, Cece and Nadine, always being amazing. And Lauren, we're definitely going to have you on for a part 2 because this conversation was juicy and more questions kept coming up. So the audience and listeners want to hear more from Lauren for sure. This was a great topic, great discussion. But shout out to our sponsors of Oyandia TV. I'm going to play a few of our sponsors. And shout out to Collective Wear. Shout out to Nadean Travel Oasis. Shout out to Divine Beauty and Accessories. And we'll be right back.
Sponsored by Collective Wear. Available at www.yesserodriguez.com/shop and myrod-enterprise.com/shop.
Dream, explore, discover with Nadine's Travel Oasis. Your next adventure is just a booking away. From breathtaking beaches to vibrant cityscapes, we handle the details so you can make the memories. Luxury, leisure, or last-minute getaways, we've got you covered. Book today and let Nadine's Travel Oasis take you places. Sponsored by Divine Beauty and Accessories. Watch Oyandia TV Thursday, 7:30 p.m.
All right. And for those who want to be sponsors of Oyandia TV, we welcome you with open arms. Simply email the email at the bottom, scrolling through you see the view there, oyandiatv@gmail.com. Also, shout out to CC, the Actionist with Inspire for Purpose and all of her amazing businesses. Shout out to Nadine, author, and all of her amazing businesses. And both of them are authors. So, hey, they're also sponsors of Oyandia TV. And thank you to the viewers and listeners. I want to just do my last minute words here that we have. So always remember, when you're telling yourself that you have a limit, please refrain from that, especially that old saying, the sky's the limit. Because every time I hear that, I cringe because it's like, because from a technical standpoint, for those who don't know, there is something called the Kármán line that exists, which is a boundary separating Earth's atmosphere and the outer space. So every time you're telling yourself the sky's the limit, you're technically setting yourself that boundary. And what that means is that boundary is actually 50 to 62 miles above that sea level. So when you say the sky's the limit, from a technical standpoint, you're still limiting yourself. So please stop. Don't say sky's the limit no more. However, this was a quote that I created back in 2011 because every time I heard that, I was like, no, that's not right. The sky is never the limit because the galaxies are endless. Always remember that. Continue to be amazing. Thanks for tuning into Oyandia TV. Until next time.